What do I mean when I say no more stolen? That's something that somebody asked me, but I want to go into detail a little bit about it so that you get a really good understanding of why I always say no more stolen. So, my grandfather was 19 years old when he was taken by ship by the Canadian government and brought from his community of Sanikiluwak, Nunavut, all the way to London, Ontario, where they kept him in a sanatorium for over 7 years. They experimented on him, they took his lung, and they made it so that he couldn't live outside of a hospital. Well, my grandfather, in my opinion, was stolen. That was the first realization that somebody in my family was stolen. Now, my mother, she was sterilized at 18 years old. That meant that after her second child, my sister, they took everything from inside so that she couldn't have any more babies. She was only 18 years old. But that wasn't the only thing that they stole. The other thing that they stole was her life. My mom died at 45 years old from medical racism. Yes. What happened was is that my mom went to the hospital by ambulance because she was hallucinating. So they assumed that my mother was drunk. They left her to sober up, even though I told them multiple times that my mother didn't drink. They still didn't care. Leaving my mom to sober up meant that the pneumonia that was in her lungs ended up going into her bloodstream. And my mom ended up dying because of pneumonia. That's what the autopsy said. But really, she died from neglect because nobody cared to treat her because they thought that she was an alcoholic. Now, the other thing that I talk about, no more stolen, is my sister, who's been missing now for over 21 years. When we reported my sister missing, the police told us, "Oh, don't worry, she'll be back in a few days. She's just out drinking." And then after a few days, they would tell us that, we believe she's a prostitute in Hamilton and sent a team there to look for her. My sister's still missing. She's stolen. So you could see how, 3 generations in my family have been stolen. And that's what I talk about when I say no more stolen. So I hope that I opened your eyes a little bit to understand, how my family has been directly impacted by this. And that's not even to talk about me as a survivor. I've been in and out of foster care. I've been abused, neglected, went without food, all the things as Indigenous people we experience because that's our realities. We live in poverty, most of us, and that's the reality. And this is why it's so important to talk about, is because we need to stop this. It's not just about creating the awareness, it's about creating that change. And the only way to create that change is by educating more people. So, in saying that, I've actually written 3 books that I wanted to share with you. The first one is Becoming Resilient Inuk. And I created this book. It took me a few years to make this book, but this will give you so much insight as an adult. However, I wouldn't recommend this to younger generations as it could be very traumatizing hearing some of these truths that I share. But in saying that, I've also made a book for, youth, people that, young people that are trying to learn in a kind way. I've made the MMIP Allyship Workbook. Now, this is for people that are in university or high school. It's to teach you how to be a good ally. What are things that you could do to make this change? And then, of course, I wrote Because We Care, and that's for 12 and under to understand in a kind way what missing people is all about. So I'm really grateful for this platform. I work really hard every day to make content for you. So thank you so much for supporting me. And please remember, following means a lot to me. It means that I could push my videos further and be further seen. So I'm really grateful for each and every one of you. No more stolen.